frozen sandwich. Now, many people will have nightmares of thinking about frozen sandwiches when they were a kid, but it's all about the way that you make them. If you make them wrong, they're gonna be terrible. So let me show you the way that I do mine. Mine defrost perfect. They're beautiful and they're fresh, they're fluffy, and this is the way to do it. First of all, it doesn't matter what bread you use, but make sure you buy it fresh on the day. I bought this 2 hours ago and I'm gonna start making the sandwiches now. If you use old bread and freeze it, once you defrost it, it's still gonna be old. So use very fresh bread. Always use butter on the bread. Butter acts as a barrier against any filling that you put inside. Meats are great for popping in sandwiches, so ham, beef, chicken, as long as you're buttering as the barrier against the bread, meat's absolutely fine. Vegemite, classic staple. My daughter loves a cheese and Vegemite sandwich. Now, when putting cheese on sandwiches, grated cheese works out better. I don't know why, but the substance remains the same. Sometimes sliced cheese can be a little bit rubbery, so do definitely use the grated cheese. Because I do cheese and biscuits for my daughter on some days as well, it's obviously cheaper to buy a big kilo block, grate half of it, and the other half can be used for cutting up into small pieces for the days that she has her cheese and biscuits. So other flavorings that work well on sandwiches, egg mayonnaise works really well. Just make sure you chop that egg really, really finely. You don't want big pieces because it will go rubbery. Tuna mayonnaise, again, a really good one. Just when you're using mayonnaises, use them sparingly. Don't go mental because it will, the barrier of the butter won't protect the bread if you're using too much. There's chutneys that you can use. Like I say, different types of hams, meats, all work really, really well when frozen and then defrosted. What doesn't work well is salads. Salads will not turn out well as well. So if you like putting salad on your kids' sandwiches, it's better just putting it in a separate bag. What you could do is use cut vegetables like capsicums, spinach, carrots, zucchini, eggplant. All those work really, really well, but you do have to cook them first. Let them go cold and then pop them on the sandwich once they are cold. It's actually a really beautiful flavor too. I'll put a link below on all my favorite fillings, and then you can take your choice and see what works for you and your child. 'Cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old. So the next thing is to butter them all. I do find it easier if you leave the butter out because it's a lot easier to spread, and you want to do this as quickly as you can. So I'm going to use mortadella because my daughter likes it, and if I don't have enough mortadella, then I will use some salami, which I have as well. The good thing about when you're doing this is you're buying everything in one go. So you know when you come to make sandwiches and then you look at your ham and it's like slimy because it's gone a bit old, this will never happen. So it's really good for budgeting because you never have to worry about going out and buying extras. I'm literally buying for these sandwiches. So when I finish at the end, I'll work out the cost, and it'll give you a good idea of how this is a really economical way of doing it. And to finish off, my daughter's favorite, which is cheese and Vegemite. Please, no comments on how thickly or thinly I spread Vegemite. I'm from England, so I'm just trying my best. That's good, you actually can't see it on this video. So now for the fun part, which is putting the cheese on. So I put the sandwiches really close together, and then I literally just sprinkle it everywhere. Just watch that if you are doing a massive sandwiches like I am all in one go, that you don't start doing other jobs in between, because the problem with that is that your bread will start to go stale straight away because it's open in the air. So let's put the cheese on. I've got them all. So now finally you want to put the tops on. Okay, so now you've done that, you need to just chop them in half or quarters or however you do it. So once your sandwiches are in the required cutting form, you can either place them into something like a big Ziploc bag. These ones are IKEA, they're huge, I really like these ones. Or alternatively, you could use a tub and then maybe put some paper in between them. I used to use individual Ziploc bags, but I'm trying to reduce my plastic and found that that was a lot of waste. Hence why now I put them in these large ones, seal them, and then freeze them. Let me free your mind, let me free your mind. So these Ziploc bags take 6 sandwiches, and it's a real squeeze getting them all in. Just make sure you let any air out. I've got a bit of air there, so try and get as much air out as possible. There we go. So put them in a flat part of your freezer to freeze perfectly, and then every time you want one, they're really easy to get out. So I have 16 sandwiches now ready for the freezer. The good thing about sandwiches is once you take them out, they literally defrost in about an hour.